So a lot's happened since I last spoke with you guys. Um, and before I delve in, the Olympics have started. Kamala Harris is now the Democratic presidential candidate. Trump is still a lunatic and sick. But before I even get into that, I have a request for those few right now who are watching these videos. Share them. I'm trying really hard. The stuff I'm saying is vitally important to our country. And there's a method to the madness. There's something I've been working on for, in my own way, since I was in law school. And I started to realize that there was a problem of perjury. I've been working on something that hopefully is very, very lucrative and very, very important. And so while this is connected with Kagapoda, and I'm showing you how comfortable it is to hang out under the covers, even discussing difficult topics, there's more to it. And I hope you share and I hope you keep following. Okay, thank you for that. All right. So I'm going to do the best I can right here. We have just a variety of things, but follow the bouncing orange ball. It's just so overt. But for you corrupt stooges and just dumb and despicable white trash morons, you have a hard time connecting the dots, following the bouncing the ball. So today I figured I'd bring out a helpful mnemonic device and prop. Our production value will go up in the future, but yes, perhaps you can follow the tea leaves. Yeah, his infamous bleeding ear. Who the hell knows? Donald Trump has been terrorizing and directly threatening violence long before he became a full-scale insurrectionist. Back with Hillary Clinton, he warns of his tough supporters and how they could turn things very bad if provoked. And this is what does get frightening and awful. Think about it. I can tell you, he says, I have the support of the police, the support of the military, the support of the bikers for Trump. Now think of the juxtaposition of all that, including the bikers for Trump. I mean, it's just disgusting and foolhardy and embarrassing. But it's terrifying that he's lumped in and believes he has the police and the military, because follow the bouncing orange ball. What he's basically saying is, they're dirty and corrupt, and they're going to follow me. And please, don't let that be the case. We just had another George Floyd type incident. Cop shot a black woman who was holding a pot. She had called, there was a problem with domestic violence, and the cop decided it was a good time to be a bully. Yes, Sonia Massey. This killer has a record of a lack of integrity, for lying in his reports, for official misconduct, and for multiple accusations of bullying behavior and abuse of power. This guy should be jailed for 20 years. And I bet you he was a Trumpster. We have, yes, I'm going to get under the covers in a second. This just happened. July 22nd, 2024. We love Hitler. We love Trump. White supremacists march through Howell. Holy shit. Right? White lives matter. Heil Hitler, we love Trump. You Trumpsters, you can't connect the dots. You see this and you rejoice in this. And we're terrified and revolted, and somehow that turns you on too. It is a sickness. I spent an evening recently, someone I've known for a while, and I avoid, and I think we all do because it's just discussing overt criminality with people who fancy themselves Trumpsters. We tend to try to turn the other cheek. Continue under the covers. And I'll let my tea bag have a rest right here. You get the point. Okay. See how the canopy expands so the feet lie comfortably. So there we are, and she couldn't control herself. And she said, "No one cares what George Clooney has to say. He is not even an important influencer," or something stupid. George Clooney is amazing, actually. He's an amazing actor. He's an amazing director. He's married to a fantastic, amazing human rights activist woman. He's a great father, by the way, an amazingly successful tequila merchant. I care what George Clooney has to say, but I took it in, and I didn't right away, and I don't always respond right away. I like it to marinate, and I'd like to think about it, but the right response is no. Hulk Hogan going on stage and he's not even a young man, and he's gonna flex at the Republican National Convention, or Kid Rock, or Chris Rock. It's interesting because all of these, notice the Rock and Dwayne The Rock Johnson too. You took your support away from Biden, Dwayne Johnson. I'm not going to your movies anymore. This is so important. I know they're blowing smoke up your ass, telling you you can be president and we'll back you. You're a jerk off. You're not going to be president. You're a big steroid muscle guy, and I've enjoyed your movies. So I'm not watching anymore. And what's interesting though is this thing with Chris Rock. He's a Dumbo, and I had been, I'm very principled, and Will Smith smacking him, I kind of really interpreted and was harsh, if you will, for Will Smith. I've been not watching his movies, and I decided, it's funny, his misplaced, misguided chauvinism, smacking an asshole like Chris Rock, was good. I'm going to watch Will Smith again. Chris Rock, you're a douche. And notice, Kid Rock, Dwayne The Rock, Chris, all you rockheads, you morons, what are you doing? People are surprised, even with Donald Trump, whether it's a hoax or real. It's amazing how his ear is perfectly fine. I don't know. Mike Tyson once bit in the ear, and Holyfield's ear shows something. Trump was shot in the ear, but you don't even know anything. So either too bad or it's a hoax. But either way, think about what I brought up at the beginning. All he does is threaten violence and intimidation and hatred and division. And by the way, juxtapose that with the Olympics. Yesterday was the opening day ceremony, and it was beautiful, and togetherness, and John Lennon, imagine all the people. The history of man is division and hatred and fighting. The United States looked hard. Our founders looked hard. Go at least Google the Federalist Papers. I know you won't have the patience or the time or the ability, even some of you, to parse them. But go back and at least look. They really studied the history of man before coming up with the Declaration of Independence and our Constitution. Because history repeats itself, and look at what's been going on. And now let's just end upbeat with comfortable feet. Good for Kamala Harris, good for Joe Biden in recognizing his limitations. Joe Biden is one of the greatest statesmen in the history of America. He spent his whole career trying to better America and help the masses, help everyone. He was a negotiator and a deal maker and crossed the aisle. And even here at the bitter end, if you will, he made the important decision to step aside so the next generation can move forward. It's tough and it's tricky and it's only a few months, but Kamala Harris is the vice president of the country. She's learned and been with Joe Biden. She's polished. She has a good heart. She's bright as hell. And I love when she says, and she was a former prosecutor, and she's dealt with fraudsters and tricksters and liars and felons, because that's what we're dealing with. They don't play by the rules, and we'll keep talking about this. It's very important. This is Hal Mins. Thumbs up for feet up. Have a very nice weekend.